Hi dear students, today I am going to deliver the lecture on MCQs on properties of concrete and testing of concrete. These MCQs are very important as far as all the type of competitive examinations are concerned for diploma and degree level students. So one must go through all these MCQs to get the ideas clear about competitive type of examinations. So let us start this lecture. First MCQ is the concrete is the mixture of cement and water, fine and coarse aggregate only, fine aggregate, coarse aggregate, cement and water, and cement and fine aggregate only. Very simple, fine aggregate, coarse aggregate, cement and water. So option C is most appropriate. Then for M20 grade of concrete, minimum compressive strength after 28 days of curing is very simple. What M stands for mix and 20 stands for compressive strength of cement concrete cube after 28 days. So 20 Newton per mm square or 20 megapascal is the correct answer. For pre-stressed concrete, minimum grade of concrete required is M40. So higher grades of concrete is required for pre-stressing. Then for atomic reactors, satellite launch pads, which concrete is used for highest strength or high performance concrete, HPC. Duff-Abraham law states that the strength of concrete is totally dependent upon water-cement ratio. That is the Duff-Abraham's law. What is the function of air entraining admixtures in the concrete? It increases the durability by creating microcouple air bubbles. Air entraining agents, what they create? They create the air bubbles in the concrete. So that is the function of that admixture. Which of the following increases the durability of concrete? High water cement ratio, it reduces. Large aggregate size, it reduces. More cement, it reduces the durability, increases the strength but reduces the durability. So low water cement ratio is the correct answer. Then what is the typical percent of air content in the air entrained concrete? That is 3 to 7%. One must remember this. What is the minimum curing period for concrete? That is 7 days. Which of the following is used to improve the workability of concrete? That is, water is also used, sand, aggregate, but correct answer is admixtures. What is the creep of concrete? Creep is the gradual deformation under the sustained load. One must remember this definition. What is the creep? Gradual deformation under sustained load. That is creep. Then creep of the concrete is increases with the higher temperature, lower humidity, higher stress levels. All of above is the correct answer, because all these factors leads to gradual deformation under sustained load. Creep is most important in which type of concrete structure? In pre-stressed type of concrete structure, creep is important because loss of stress due to creep is also measured in pre-stressed concrete. According to Duff-Abraham's water cement law, the strength of concrete is primarily dependent upon, as discussed in earlier MCQ also, it is water cement ratio. Then which of the following test is commonly used to measure the workability of concrete? Workability, slump cone test, compacting factor test, VV consistometer test. These are the three tests, but flow table test, but commonly used is the slump test. Which of the following is not a factor that affects the workability of concrete? Water cement ratio affects the workability of concrete. Aggregate shape and size also affects the workability. Ambient temperature also affects the workability, but concrete curing time is not affect the workability. So this is most appropriate answer. The workability of concrete is affected by which of the following factors? Water cement ratio, type and grading of aggregate, temperature. All of above is the correct answer. Then slump cone test does not give good results in case of stiff concrete, harsh concrete, both A and B and none of above. Stiff concrete and harsh concrete, it does not give the correct result. Some slump test. In slump cone test, if the concrete breaks and spreads in all direction, it is called as a collapse slump. म्हणजेचा स्लम्प जो आहे तो ऑल डायरेक्शन मध्ये कोलॅप्स झाला तर त्याला काय म्हणायचं? कोलॅप्स स्लम्प. प्रॉपर्टीज ऑफ M20 ग्रेड कॉन्क्रीट is 1:1/2:3. That is 1/2. The workability of concrete can be improved by adding hydrated lime, fly ash, calcium chloride, all of the above is the correct answer, because calcium chloride is the accelerating agent, fly ash is also accelerating agent, and hydrated lime is also added. The workability of concrete by slump cone test is expressed in mm. You must know that the top diameter is 10 mm, then bottom diameter is 20 mm. Top diameter is 10, bottom is 20 mm, and height is 30. This is the slump. Okay, this is 10. One must know all these dimensions. If slump value is in between 26 to 30, the workability is very low, because this difference is more, the workability is low. In slump cone test, if the frustum breaks and half portion slide down, it is called as a shear slump. Such a slump half is called as a shear slump. Creep in the concrete is generally more significant in low strength concrete. If the yield of the concrete is lower than expected, it indicates that insufficient volume of aggregate was used. What is the approximate yield of 1 bag of cement in concrete assuming a standard mix? 0.35 cubic meter. That is the yield of cement for 1 bag. Then an increase in the water cement ratio generally leads to decrease in the yield of concrete, or increase in the yield of concrete, no effect on the yield of concrete, or none of it increases the yield of concrete, because water increases, volume increases. Which of the following is used to check the quality of concrete on the side? That is rebound hammer test, that is the non-destructive testing. Which of the following is the non-destructive testing for concrete? Compression test is the destructive, because concrete cube breaks. Ultrasonic pulse velocity test, it is non-destructive. Tensile strength, it is also destructive. And slump cone test, also destructive. Okay, so it is enough in this lecture. I am going to deliver the further lectures on MCQs also. So please listen my lectures till the end. Until then, bye bye, and please be prepared for competitive type of examinations. Bye.